considering how hard she went over, I'm talking about the truck here, not the handbrake, there's not too bad on the damage stakes really. That's the beautiful thing about a 40 series, because it's kind of put together like a big Mechano kit. When you drop them, you tend to bend a few bits, not the whole thing. Running gear wise, everything's spot on, there's no issues. Might have to check the rear lockers working. I don't know whether it's pulled a wire or snipped a wire or something, but I don't think the rear locker was working in the last sort of incident, the big incident. This mudguard, we're just going to replace it this time around. Still a long ways off doing the bar work and all the rest of it, because we just need the truck back on the road. Snorkel survived really well. It's going to have to come off though, eh, Rich? Because we've got to do something fairly major with the roof and the roof rack. That's where most of the weight slammed it. So, you know, we're probably looking at straightening or getting some new mounts. The Max Trax bracket. It's just, you know, things have to be done. The roof has to be glued and bolted back on because it actually came loose, which was...
It's got a big hole in it.
It's got a big hole in it. And the door, well, that's just a kick-out job. Minor scuff marks. But seeing as we've got to paint a guard, we'll be painting these too. What else? That's a bit... Oh, we're going to do something with the rear too, I guess.
Yeah, have another look at that, I reckon, and just make sure that everything's all square and straight. And...
Yeah, I just, you know, we need the truck to look pretty too, so...
oh, yeah, a bit more here.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, there's a bit
have to do something with the... Tell now, mate.
We've been waiting for an excuse to do this. So we'll be cutting into the tub a little bit just to reshape it. Also to give it some width this time around, and most importantly, some mud flaps. One of the cars that was following me last week copped a cracked windscreen because of these wheels. You know, you could say it's his fault. He shouldn't have been right behind me, but it's also my fault because I didn't have mud flaps on. So that's going to cost me a carton of beer and a couple of mud flaps. We're all good. That's going to cost me another carton of beer. Oh, how many hours in a day? Let's go. So while Rich hooks in to pull off the snorkel and we can free up the rack, I'm going to hook in and head down to the bottle shop for a couple of cartons. No, only joking. Got to get some work done first, eh? Considering the weight of the truck was resting on the snorkel for a minute, look at that. There's a bit of a dent on the end there. But I guess the thing to notice, really, is how well that ceramic coating held up.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Yeah. Check the weight.
It doesn't weigh that much at all, really. Righto, roof rack's off. Roof's got to come off. And this door is a little bit wonky. You can actually tell when the glass is up to here, there's a gap of about ½ an inch. But that's all right, this is all straightenable. Hey, mate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's get into it. I'll get this guard off. Kind of feels like we're redoing a whole lot of stuff we only just did. But that's the nature of it, isn't it? Hey, this wiring loom, Rich, will this unplug somewhere?
It should just come...
Oh, yeah, I see.
It just comes here, it's all loose, so you can just pull it back through like this.
Oh, yeah, oh, lovely. Oh, well done, mate. Hey, see that? That's beautiful wiring. He's planned it so it can come to bits. He must have known.
For just this event.
The justice. Half the problem with a job like this is you can never really be sure of the damage until you've hooked in and had a really good look. This roof looks worse every bolt that comes out. Even the red dog appreciates the beauty of a 40 series. You know, the way it's just metal and it's bolted together. No plastic clips, no plastic. Just stuff you can bang and weld and straighten, and we're going to be doing all of that. One of the things you should remember when you're building your own truck, make sure you use metric nuts and bolts, and try and standardise the sizes a bit. As a result of us doing that, I'm going to need a 10 and a 12 pretty much, and possibly a 14 for a couple of minutes. And it looks like the dogs are attacking the cameraman. Yeah, well done, dogs.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's a bit lighter.
How good's that? These things came with two sorts of lids, a fibreglass one and a tin one. And the tin ones are impossible to get hold of now. And if you do, it's going to have heaps of holes in it. Later on, I actually want to have a crack at making a different sort of roof for this. Me and Rich have got a few ideas, but for the time being, this is a fibreglass roof, which is a lovely thing, keeps the sun off your melon, stops the cab from warming up, doesn't rust. It's also weak, you know, not supposed to be rolled on. Not like the rest of the truck. You know, when you look at the surface damage on Milo 2, it's reasonably considerable. It's only bolt on, bolt off stuff and a bit of bending and welding and grinding and gluing and stuff like that. But the thing you really need to consider here is that there's no damage at all to the motor. What could have gone wrong? Well, if I hadn't switched it off in time, it might have hydraulicked or something like that. But generally, when you turn something on its side, a little bit of oil will go up past the rings. I don't know if you noticed, this truck was on its side for probably the best part of 2 hours. And when we got it back over, it started first hit, no hydraulicking, not even extra smoke. That's the Terrain Tamer engine at work, all right? It's done about 10, 12, 13,000 Ks maybe, and the rings, the bores, the pistons are still totally oil tight. That's awesome. You know what that means, don't you? That means that this is a 5, 6, 700,000 K motor minimum, as long as we keep the pen right up to it with the filters, Terrain Tamer filters too. Love you guys, thank you very much. You built an awesome engine.
So a difference between a laminated windscreen and an unlaminated windscreen, in the rollover, there literally wouldn't be any windscreen left. It would be gone. You can see that there's lamination in it because you've got cracks on 2 layers with the laminate in between. But John's just going to get some gloves. We're going to be wearing eye protection because there'll be a lot of shards shooting out as we're doing this. We haven't got to worry about protecting the screen. It's scrap. And open that top corner again. So we haven't got to worry about saving it, have we?
No! Don't worry about saving it. I think we need a new one. All right.
Go, we'll get the fingers now. Go get it.
Right?
Yeah, good. Charlie. That's it.
That's it. Gee, it's nice and easy with a soft rubber anyway.
Mm-hmm. So watch the
hang on,
wiper blades.
Oh yeah, got to watch the wiper blades. Don't want to have to buy a new pair of wiper blades. Terrain Tamer is one of the few places you can get all the rubbers you need for an old Toyota, but that's good. But as a lot of people know, it's the quality of the rubber that makes all the difference. And get a load of this. That rubber is so good, it made this job easy. And I reckon we'll reuse it. We'll reuse this because it's great. Yeah. No damage. To the rubber itself. No. Look, that is every bit as good or probably better than the original bit. Better. Cool. What are we going to do with the glass?
I think it's ready for the bin.
Oh, no, we can fix that.
Yeah, right.
Is that all loose under there? That's not strapped up to the tank? There we go. Oh, look at the blower motor.
Smashed. And it's taking out some wiring as well. Oh.
See what happens to plastic in a four-wheel drive environment. Nothing to do with rolling the truck.
No, nothing, no.
Oh, what a shame. It'll probably still work.
Mm. Just sucking engine fumes.
Somewhat. Well, while the guard's off, perfect opportunity, always look on the bright side. We've got a minor oil leak on the turbo return line, very, very small. So I'm going to have a bit of a look at that. And Rich wants to have a look at the turbo itself, just make sure the end float's fine. I'm happy to do that too while it's here. This is perfect. And you know, just while I'm here, I've got to mention the Terrain Tamer suspension. It did an awesome job in the Flinders, it really did, and that's where you need suspension. It's just working hard all day. No dramas at all. This oil is nothing to do with the suspension, that's from another thing altogether. Bushes, everything working fine, leaves perfect. I love greasable shackles, so thanks Terrain Tamer, good stuff. Right, well, I wish I could just leave it like this and drive around. If you're wondering where I got a brand new 40 series guard from, Warrego 4x4, yeah, Festa. Geez, he comes up with the goods sometimes, that guy, he knows everyone. Ha ha ha! Beautiful. We'll leave that off till we've done the rest of it. Ever since the 79 series tub went on, we've been looking for an excuse to trim the guards. The tyres are just a tad too wide anyway, and I want to put a flexible trim on it. But I also want to get rid of this lip, the one that bent in the rollover. Ha 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 ha! I love this bit, Rich. Part of the trick here will be to hang on to this piece and not throw it away straight away, because we'll use this as a bit of a guide for the other side to make sure we've got the dimensions right.
That's good thinking there, mate.
Hey,
that is
did you
good
see
thinking,
that?
mate.
How good was that for thinking?
Astonishing,
Hey?
astonishing.
I only thought of it just then. I've never done it before. You can tell true professionals at work. Hey? Oh, that looks better almost straight away. Love it. Right, we'll clean that up a bit and we'll go. Okay, couple of things, you know, for you guys who love this kind of stuff and for you guys who haven't done a lot of it. First of all, if you can, always follow the line of some sort of body panel part, seam or something. That's what we did with that major one. The second thing is, before we cut this, we made sure we knew where the inner guards were welded to these outer guards. So that's actually like a good inch up, you know, which means we don't have to re-weld all of that. So it just makes the job a whole lot quicker. Always learning in this game. Terrain tamer winch, absolutely awesome. Worked its backside off. Yeah, really, really pleased. The rope, because we were running some really awkward angles, we wrecked it. Basically, we put some hot spots in it. We lost the other end twice, had to re-knot it. Wound up shortening it considerably. Now, ages ago, and I am talking years ago, the plasma rope guys over in Western Australia gave me one of these for Milo. And it was so good, I used it for years and years and years, it was so good, I bought another one just to have a spare. Now, I don't know whether you blokes are still in business. If you are, wow, you deserve to be killing it in this field, you really do. I know it's not a cheap product, but good plasma rope is just beautiful. And look at the way this has been put together. Look at the finish on that. Like, I don't know much about rope tying, but anyone can see it's thick as on the hook end, so it must have been doubled over and then interwoven, interwoven, interwoven until it gets back to the single thickness here, which is still a whole lot thicker than a standard winch rope. That's why that rope on Milo lasted so long, years and years and years. And here we go again with Milo 2. The winch will take it, just need a better rope. Milo 2, brought to you by the best names in the business and a whole bunch of my mates helping out.